welcome to the Fun Cafe. Thank you very much for coming down this evening. And as usual, it's going to be one of those special evenings because we have got the start of one of Britain's most sustaining, now there's a word, isn't it, Fred? It is. Good television series ever. Because tonight we have got Avon, Mr. Paul Darrow!
Good evening. Thank you very much for that very kind reception. Do I walk over here and do the Dave Allen? I do. Okay. I actually know Dave Allen, and somebody heckled him once. And I won't do what he did, but Dave was sitting on the stool doing his jokes. And somebody was heckling him really badly, and Dave had a glass of scotch. But when he finished his act, he just went over. I'd like to thank you for helping me out. No, I wouldn't let you have. And I've seen somebody just like you tonight. I have to say this. I met Fabien Barthez tonight. Are there any Manchester United supporters here? Good. But I have to say, I was sitting Chelsea. They got stuffed. I'm a City supporter, as some of you may know. But even so, I was in the lift with Fabien Barthez, and I thought, well, what do I say, you know? Bonsoir, bon chance. So I said, thank you very much. You know? They're not playing us anyway, so I don't care. So anyway, I meet the famous, and now I'm meeting more famous people. You seem like a nice girl. What's your name? Linda. Linda. How do you spell it? That's correct. Take all your clothes off. You're not shocked by anything? No. Catch you later, okay? Right. So, here we are at the Fan Cafe. I must say I viewed this with a certain amount of trepidation until I spoke to Sylvester McCoy, and he's been here. Yeah. Who? Gareth who? Oh yeah. But he wasn't here. Yeah, about a while, wasn't he? Yeah. And I understand you had an in. Thank you so much. Awfully good. Don't call us. Thank you. And as I understand it, Gareth had a little contretemps with a newspaper. Were you here when he practically killed a guy from some newspaper, the Daily Sport? Yeah. Great paper. I read it every day. But I must have missed that one. So, this is my first visit. As I understand it, if I do quite well, they might ask me back. Oh, how kind. Whoever you may be. So what am I supposed to do? Steve, you didn't tell me what I was supposed to do. You took me out and got me drunk, but he just kept saying to me, it'll be all right, it'll be great. You know, there you go. So, anyway, are you all familiar with the series Blake 7? Because if you're not, it's on now. And oh, God, and there's Curly with the teeth. Stephen Casey, my friend. And somebody who has a very severe hairdo. That is the penultimate episode. I'm in Manchester, so I'll say that means the second before last. Everyone a winner, huh? So, what do I do? Tell jokes? Yeah, alright, I'll tell you a joke. The head of film studio died. I told you this one already, but I'll repeat it. The head of a the studio died, and he went to heaven. And he was met at the pearly gates by St. Peter, and St. Peter said, your room's not quite ready yet. So would you like to go to lunch? How many times have you heard that? You know, your room's not ready yet. So he went to lunch, and he went into the commissary, and there was a big queue, and because he was the head of the studio, he went to the head of the line, and St. Peter grabbed him by the arm, and he said, no, you can't do that. And he said, but I was the head of the studio, I used to go to the head of the line. He said, well, no, this is heaven, it's democratic, you get in line with everybody else. So he did. And a little later, William Shatner walked in. You've heard of him. And he walked to the head of the line. And the head of the studio turned to St. Peter and said, Bill Shatner's gone to the head of the line. And St. Peter said, that's not Bill Shatner. That's God. He just thinks he's Bill Shatner. Rest his soul, Forrest Kelly's joke, that is. Why is it that all of the Star Trek people that I've ever met tell jokes about Bill Shatner? I was with Michelle Nichols. As I said to the Queen, I hate name droppers, but I was with Michelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura, and I was telling jokes about Bill Shatner, because somebody said, if you're going to do some more Blade 7, it's going to be a little tricky because you're old, aren't you? And I said, yes, but I have my own hair, and I don't have to wear a corset like Bill. Michelle leaned over and said, Paul, do you know Bill? I don't think he's going to like it. Anyway, I used to get messages from him saying thanks for the publicity. Rather terse messages, as you might imagine. So there you are. What else? We tell other jokes? How late is it? Okay. There is the actor who, this is rather sad actually. There's an actor who'd been out of work for 2 years, and he met another actor in the street, and the actor said to him, how's it going? He said, well, it's going terribly. I've been out of work for 2 years. And he said, well, it's absolutely amazing because they're making a big movie about Abraham Lincoln, and you look exactly like him. You should go to this audition. So he gave him the address. And he said, oh, thank you so much, I'll go, because I'm so desperate. And he said, well, you know what casting directors are like nowadays? They've got no imagination, so dress up as Abraham Lincoln. So he went along and he walked in, and the casting director said, oh, it is amazing. You are incredibly like Abraham Lincoln, but I have to tell you, I'm terribly sorry, we've already cast the part. So the poor fellow got on the train and went home. On the way, somebody shot him. That's it, huh? All right. You liked it, you can come again. Oh, you can come a lot, yeah. All right. So, are you all from Manchester? Ah, well, where else are you from? Rochdale, wow! Rochdale. Yeah, I've heard of it. Rochdale, so apart from Rochdale, sorry? Well, let's move round. Swindon. Do you like Swindon? Oh, I've met someone who likes Swindon. It's wonderful. You're there. Diana Dawes comes from Swindon, or came from Swindon. I worked with Diana Dawes. I worked with Diana on a show called Movie Goers, and it was a show for a company called Westwood Television, which is now defunct. Probably has something to do with me. But I was on the show, and the idea was that it was quite a quiz about movies, with movie stars and so on, as guests. And Diana was the guest on this particular show. And we were having lunch, and she walked in and she said, I understand there's going to be a quiz. And the producer said yes. And she said, well, I'm going to ask a question now, and if anybody knows the answer, I'm not going to appear. And the question was, oh, gosh, it was a close-up of my favourite actor just then. And it wasn't Gareth Thomas. And the question was, see if you know, who dubbed the singing voice of Lauren Bacall in the film To Have and Have Not? She didn't sing, she appeared to sing, but somebody dubbed it. And I knew the answer, and I said it. And the answer is Andy Williams, which is an extraordinary Trivial Pursuit question and answer, isn't it? And Diana, I'll do it for you. And I said, I know that, it's Andy Williams. And Diana Dawes, in all her glamour, turned, looked at me and went, smartass. And walked out. And they thought she'd never come back. Of course she did. Of course she did. Because her husband, Alan Lake, sadly also gone now, was in Blitzer. And we got on very well. And we were in an area of northeast England which was totally dry. There was nowhere you could get a drink. And the taxi driver, one of the drivers on the location, Alan finished before I did. And I saw this driver later and he said, I can't do a Geordie accent. And he said, but I've been up here 23 years, he said, and I've never been able to find a pub that's open at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Mr. Lake did. Amazing. So, apart from that's Swindon, Rochdale, I'm terribly sorry, no. But doubtless I shall at some time or another. What's good about Rochdale?
We've got a football team that might play City one day. If City get demoted, Rochdale get promoted. I'm not saying all that, but you know.
So where are you from, Lindsay? You're from Manchester. And what team do you support, love? You don't really support anybody? Oh. Well, we'll have a chat later and sort it out. Because we could use you. In fact, if you're free on Saturday, you could play centre forward because we've got a few injuries. So, all right, Swindon. You can't all be from Swindon.
North Wales.
North Wales. My mother was from North Wales. Where in North Wales? Rill. Mould. Uh-huh. I've been there. Played Rill and lost. You've got that new, well, it's not so new now, but it's new. I played Macbeth there about, oh my God. You saw it? You saw me play Macbeth?
Yeah.
How good was I? What are you, the Grinch that stole Christmas? Okay. North Wales. Golders Green, I've been there as well. Golders Green. I had a girlfriend in Golders Green once. Wasn't you, was it? No. You're too young. Silver-tongued cavalier that I am. So, where are you from at the back there? Bradford! Oh, you just sacked your manager. Yeah, oh dear. Very nice, Bradford, but you never stay there. I always stay in Bingley. Oh, well, you see, so you're not really from Bradford, are you? Because anybody's got any sense. Well, I play the Alhambra. The Alhambra Theatre, have you been there? All right, well, the Alhambra Theatre, normally in theatres you have number 1 dressing room, number 2, number 3, number 4. Well, in the Alhambra, it's named after pantomimes. So the first time I ever played there, and I was playing the leading role, I expected, number 1 dressing room. And the stage doorkeeper said, "You'll be that Mr. Darrow, will you?" And I said, "Well, yes." He said, "You're in Mother Goose." So there you are. I've always been in Mother Goose. In Bradford. Bradford. So, that's Swindon, Bradford, Mould, Rill. What happened to you lot in the middle? Rochdale, we've heard enough of. Sorry? Sydney, Australia, I've been there. I have. And there was a bloody strike as well on when I arrived. You know, giving your passport, what do you call that? Customs and excise or whatever. You walk through and it took 2.5 hours to get in. And I just come in from Singapore, you know. And when I went to New Zealand, when I went to New Zealand, they said, what did you think of Australia? And I said, well, I think I prefer it in New Zealand. Well, I was laughing. I am a shithead, yeah. But I had a great new time in New Zealand and you didn't, yeah. Wouldn't they? Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing it with us. Right, so now I know you're not from Bradford or Golders Green, you're from Sussex, Surrey. Yes. There you go. Surrey. It's very posh, Surrey. And so is Sussex. I'm from Sussex, or rather I live in Sussex. So, what else? Let us move around. Where? Ah, good team. Well, they were, because they stuffed Manchester City once. Many years ago, I remember it was Malcolm Allison was, oh gosh, we got back a bit now, but Malcolm Allison was manager at City, and we had a new system. And I did admire him because we played Bury and you beat us 4-0. This was pre-season. And somebody said to him, you tried a new system at Bury, did you, Malcolm? He said, yeah, it doesn't work, does it? Quite right. Yeah. And do you remember the famous story of Bury when they played the Danish national team? I think it was the Danish national team. Anyway, they went over to Scandinavia and it was Bury, many years ago, and they played the Danish national team, I think it was the Danes, and they beat them. And the Danish mayor or whatever got up and said, oh, well, you know, these things happened, weather was bad, and we weren't playing so well, and we had injuries and so on. And then the Bury captain had to get up and give a speech, and he wasn't very good at it. He said, all I can say is, he said, we stuck the ball in the back of the net, and we didn't. And sat down. Fair enough. Right. What else do I do, Steve? You didn't tell me I had to do anything here. You said, it'd be great, he said, it'd be wonderful. So, what do I do now? Where are you from?
Me? I'm
Yeah.
from Manchester.
Oh, well, never mind. It's all that wonderful story down south. There is a north-south divide. I am actually split. I'm schizophrenic. I was born in the south, but my family is from the north. And there is a tremendous divide. Do you notice this? Yes. And actually, people are generally much more friendly up here. You know, they say please before they take your wallet. But I do find I sort of come back to my roots. That's why I support City, because well, I don't come from Manchester, but between the two, near Ormskirk. Do you know where Ormskirk is? Southport, very good, very nice. Southport, very posh. I did Coronation Street many years ago. Do you remember an actress called Jean Alexander? Yeah. It was that long ago that I was in it. And she and I used to go on the train together back to Southport. Ah, that's nice, isn't it? So, moving round. Anybody from anywhere exotic? Like Preston. Billingham? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Actually, the first time I played Billingham, the Forum, I was booked into a place called London House. It's sort of rooms, and they put you in there. And I walked in, and there was the woman on the desk, and she said, "Hey," and I said, "Paul Darrow," and she said, "You'll not stay here." And I said, "What do you mean?" "I booked a room." She said, "You'll not stay here. Have a look." So I went and had a look, and it was nylon sheets and really awful. And I came down, and she said, "The Bellingham Arms is over there." So I went into the Bellingham Arms. And because Bellingham is a sort of car park, isn't it really, with nuclear waste underneath. Because of Blake 7, you know, I used to wear all that gear. And the bikers, I got on very well with them. And actually I managed to get a couple of them tickets for the show that I was in at the time. And I said, this is terrible. It is terrible, isn't it? Horrible. And why doesn't somebody do something about it? A nuclear strike, you're quite right. But, bottom line is, doesn't matter what the place is like, it's the people. And they were, well, like you, they were okay. So, I had a good time there. So where else? Sheffield. Oh, my cousin lives there. But actually, she doesn't. She lives in Dronfield. It's posher. Sorry? You support Queen's Park Rangers and you're from Sheffield? Yes. Well, never mind. So, no, don't laugh, don't laugh. Don't mock the afflicted. Wimbledon? Who's from Wimbledon? No, nobody. That was an aberration. So, does anybody want to brag about where they're from?
Glasgow.
Glasgow? Oh, yeah, from Glasgow. Oh, yeah. Well, when you're in Glasgow, the first time I went to Glasgow, I was told by a Scottish actor, he said, Paul, whatever happens. I think he was a close relative of Jimmy Knapp. And he said, Paul, whatever happens, if anybody asks you what football team you support, you don't say Rangers or Celtic. He said, because you're dead. If you say it to the wrong person, he said, say Partick Thistle. So whenever anybody asks me, what Scottish team do you like best in Glasgow, and I say, Partick Thistle. And they think I'm a poster anyway. So, and they say, oh, okay, we Thistle, they're all right. So I'm safe in Glasgow. Great city, vibrant city. Sorry? Cape Town. Mm-hmm. That's selfish, isn't it? I have to say, many years ago, I was offered, well, I wasn't offered, I was asked to audition for a part, and I had to have a South African accent, and I couldn't do it. And I had an agent at the time who was South African, and I didn't get the part anyway, so I said, well, you know, just in case this happens again, you're going to have to teach me a South African accent. So she did. So I'm quite good at it, really, you know. And that was 30 years ago, and I've not been offered a part since. So, there you go. So where else?
Minstead.
Where?
Minstead.
Minstead? Where's that?
New Forest.
Oh, the New Forest. I was down there a couple of weeks ago. I was at Bewley a couple of weeks ago. Sorry? Before the floods. It was literally a couple of weeks ago. I was down there. We did a charity show, and also I don't know if you've heard about the possibility and indeed the probability of another Blake 7 TV movie. Yeah. Well, we were sort of making waves down there vis-a-vis the financing of it. So we're getting there. Except that my partner, who is big boss man, really keeps saying, we've really got to do the movie rather than the TV movie. So would I be in it? Oh yeah, I'll be in it with Brad Pitt and Cameron Diaz, and Brad will be, doing all the stunts. I'll be with Cameron. Because he's a nice guy, Cameron. Yeah. Anyway, you okay, remember? Good. Alright, so, Minskit. That's good. You've come all the way up here to see me.
I get married, but you were the excuse.
Who did you marry?
My wife.
So how long have you been married?
About
6 months. And people said it was as well, congratulations. It's a wonderful institution, and I mean institution. I've been married for over 30 years, and Reggie Crayon like that. So anybody else want to claim fame from where they are? Or come from? Nobody? Yes, sir.
Well, it's ironic, you just mentioned it, but I actually come from Bromfield.
You come from
Bromfield.
Dronfield, do you? Do you know my cousin Jennifer?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, doubtless she'll know you after tonight. Yeah. She's a social worker. So if you've got any problems, give me a call. Oh, there I am. Look, on the screen. Being macho. Actually, I remember this episode. The director of this is an absolute bastard. And I just completed a CD-ROM with Dennis Barber called Hostile Waters, which will be available in February. It's sort of X-Files, Mulder and Scully, but underwater. In submarines and things. And we did this episode, and Dennis and I had to run across lots of sand and so on, and the director said there'll be explosions. I said, well, hold the phone here, where? And he said there and there and there and there and there, whatever. So fine, we started to run, and we let off a couple of explosions where we didn't expect them. And if you look quite carefully, Dennis actually looks terrified. Dennis looks terrified. I also. And we were not too pleased, I have to tell you. And I said, why did you do that? And he said, well, I wanted the spontaneous reaction. And this is the girl with the bad hair day. Oh, and that is the lovely Josette.
Was there ever any on-screen romances, Paul, with you in the cast, or is that just a rumour?
All of them. Well, have them all, love. No!
With the concept of ultralight magic in the old days, you ever cringe at some of the old scenes in Blade 7, as opposed to Flash Gordon with a sparkler shoved up the back of the cable? I mean, we've come a long way since then.
Have we?
Well, is there anything you look back on and it makes you cringe, or is there anything you're particularly proud of in Blade 7?
Okay, that's a good question. Is there anything that makes me cringe? Yes, a few things, obviously. Well, a lot of them I'm quite proud of. Let's face it, if it wasn't a success, I wouldn't be here today, and neither would you. So, there was a lot going for it. Looking back, obviously, it's easy with hindsight. You think, oh, God, I could have done that better, or it could have been better. I'm afraid you're part of your own generation and you do what goes at the time. What we hope to do with the next lot, or rather the TV movie, and then hopefully another series after that, which will be a kind of Blade 7, the next generation, which I'm just a tad too old for, too mature. Thank you. I paid you 50 quid, I want more than that. What we're going to do is marry, as it were, the sort of American special effects ideal with the good dialogue that we've had, and plunge it into the 21st century. Hopefully it'll work. I've seen the basic outline of the script, and it's very exciting. Very exciting. There's some good people in it. Hopefully Sarah and Michelle Gellar, and one or two others of that ilk. We shall see. But at the moment, Andrew, my partner, is going around with a lot of Swedish models, and so far we have, I think, about 30 tall Swedish models playing small parts. It's fine by me. I'm going to have to get in shape because I'm balding a bit at the back. It would be too polite to mention it, but hasn't done Sean Connery any harm. So, but I'm going to have to get into a little bit of shape. So I have to talk to my friend Dave Prowse, who build me up a bit. So,
Will Aurak be in it?
will Aurak be in it? Yes. Yay! Aurak fetishist, huh?
What about the other actors?
What about the other actors? You mean the other people? No. Dead. All dead. I'm the only one alive. Me and Sarah Michelle. Villa's dead. They're all dead. Little prick. No, he's out of it. They're all out of it. When we do the movie, though, it'll be Brad Pitt and Harrison Ford and people like that. Yeah. That's what I did when it was suggested. So, you're all being very quiet, not all of you, but some of you being quiet as to where you're from. Steve, stop walking around like that.
I've got a cigarette.
Oh, right.
Not Camel.
I mean, you're walking around there like the spy who... Anyway, where else is anybody from? Okay. Next.
Cheshire.
Cheshire? That's pretty broad.
Okay, a small village nobody's heard of in Cheshire.
Well, tell us the name of the village and then we'll all have heard of it.
Arley.
Arley? By God, have you ever been to Arley in Cheshire?
Yes!
You see? There you go. A romance to build up here this evening because you're from Arley. You know, some slinky broad, that's a terrible word, isn't it? I've been reading Frank Sinatra books, The Rat Pack and so on, because they were all broads in those days, weren't they? Can't say it anymore, of course. There's the Norfolk broads, but that's it. I hate political correctness, don't you? I mean, if somebody's fat, they're fat. You know, if they're midgets, they're not vertically challenged. They're small. You know, like Adolf Hitler. You know, I wouldn't have told him that to his face, you know, I wouldn't have said to Adolf Hitler, "Oi, titch!" You know, I wouldn't have said that. No. Hello. He's had it. So, what happens now? Did we all sort of... Oh, obviously, something quite exciting. Somebody's laughing over there. Am I pissed? Not yet. But it's promised for later. No, Gareth Thomas I am not. And... and he's younger than I am, but he looks like my father. I don't want to say anything unkind about Gareth. He's a wonderful guy. He's not here. He's got hair. And his armpits. Yes, he's got hair, that's true. We're quiet then. Anything you want to know? I'm in the mood to tell you anything you want to know. Yes, sir. Apparently, The Stranger is you're one of the two people who saw that. They, I got a call from, have you ever heard of Rob Grant?
Yes!
He'll be pleased. Oh, look. You are my hero in life. Rob Grant called my agent and said, "Well, Paul, come along and meet us." And for this thing called The Strangers, and they sent me the first script, because Rob writes as he goes along, so there was only one script. And it said the character's name was Seedy. Seedy. You know, sort of with a string vest and fleas. things like that. So I went out to lunch at Langer's Brasserie with a friend of mine, and we had a few drinks. And anyway, I went along and walked in, and I said, "Here I am, the Richard Gere of England." Why are you laughing? You wanted to play CD? And he said, "Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. What do you think?" And anyway, we kicked it around, and we decided to play it the way I played it. But apparently it was not a great success. I was voted the best guest artist, apparently. Whatever that would mean. But they spent $3.5 million on it or something, and it didn't do that well. But then, you never know, do you? Red Dwarf didn't do that well when it started. Blake Seven's first episode, in which I did not appear, got 3,500 viewers. The second episode, in which I did appear, got 10,000 viewers. Shows you something. So, there you go. I don't know. Hopefully, it'll be shown on terrestrial television first, I would think, and then they'll see how it goes, because things build up. It's either, I mean, don't give up, you know, as W.C. Fields once said, if you don't succeed at first, give up, you know. By making a damn fool of yourself. So, there you are. How am I doing?
Doing fine.
Okay. Better than Sylvester McCoy?